20th Commission meeting to order. Commissioner Sutton, would you lead the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning.
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 First item on our agenda, we have the second reading, ordinance 127, possible adoption on the gross rezone. Any questions?
Move approval.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Kippley, to approve the second reading, possible adoption of ordinance 127. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Actually, got just a couple things we got before Diane comes in.
Minutes from November 13, Jim. Move them.
Second.
Moved by Kippley, second by Sutton, to approve the general minutes from November 13th meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Claims and the payroll for the first and second payrolls in October.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Anderson, to authorize claims of payroll 22 and 23. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
HR report. Move. Second.
Moved by Hanson, second by Kippley, to approve the HR report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
There were two fair contracts and the names are confidential because they cannot be released.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Kippley, to sign the fair contracts in confidentiality. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And
Motion carries.
Chris, your note you put on the front of the packet will stay there. Or,
That's fine, and that's why I approved it, as long as Derek can follow through with all those conditions.
yeah. Okay, the contract with the South Dakota Department of Health for the Community Health Center, they went up, I can't remember the percent now, it's in the packet. So you'll have to contingency that budget next year to make up the difference because we just got this notification for
Move.
today, yeah. Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Hanson, to approve the Brown County Community Health Contract. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, there was the solid waste management program grant reimbursement request number 2, approve and authorize the chair to sign. Move it. Second.
Moved by Kippley, second by Hanson, to authorize the solid waste management program grant reimbursement request number 2. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, on the flip side, there's the pay request number 5 from B&B for their payment, which is what we're getting reimbursed for from the grant.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Kippley, pay request number 5 from B&B contract for landfill cell number 3. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Abatement.
That wasn't stamped, so I mean, we all saw it in the packet, but it wasn't stamped with,
Oh, she forgot.
for initials, so just,
Okay. I'd move the abatement though.
and I'll second it.
Moved by Kippley, second by Sutton, to approve the abatement. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Lottery application.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Hanson, to approve the lottery permits. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And then there are the alcohol license renewal certificates, authorize the chair to sign. Move. Second.
Moved by Hanson, second by Kippley, to authorize chair to sign the 2019 liquor license renewals. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And that's all I have.
Okay. Next item on the agenda, we have Diane Lair, Teen Court Director. Diane, I've seen her sitting out front there.
Morning, Diane.
Good morning.
Morning, Diane.
Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I just have a quick request, and then I'll get out of your hair.
One of the money sources for teen court in the past has been the JJRI fiscal program run by the state. Stands for Juvenile Justice Recidivism Incentive. So what that means is that for every youth that comes through and completes teen court and doesn't reoffend, they allot a certain amount of money back to the teen court to fund the program. A while back, that money was diverted into the general fund, and now that we're seeing more kids coming through teen court again, in a conversation with Chris White and Carly Winter, we're all in agreement that we should request that that money go back into the teen court funds. So this year, just for an example, we had 25, or last year we had 25 kids that completed teen court, so that they're paying a little over $167 a child. That check, I don't know if that check's already come or not, but it will be coming real soon. So it's almost $4,200 that could go back into the teen court fund to fund drug and alcohol program classes and other programs that we've got going. And that 25 was when we were running really slow. On average, the year before, we had just over 100 teens come through teen court. So next year, that could be closer to $10,000 that would help fund teen court. So that's my request, and it's just ask that you would take that into consideration.
So you had 116, 25 kids in 17?
In 2017, yes.
And how many have you had this year?
So far, I've got 42 so far.
That's good work.
And most of those have started since like June.
Mm-hmm.
So it was slower at the beginning of the year, and then some things switched up, and now I've got more kids coming through. So we'll probably have probably 50 by the end of the year. So we've got more cases coming up, and then next year it should be closer to 100 again.
They split it up.
Did that check come?
I think that would be a good cause, a good reason to use that.
Well, any of those teens that we can divert from getting back into trouble and staying, getting them some tools to help them make better choices, I think it's great for all of us, for the families, for the city, for the county.
Have we gotten that check yet?
I do think we got the check. It comes to my office.
Okay.
I think Penny's got it on her desk, but we just got it.
Was it 4,200 exact?
You know,
It's
Diane?
$4,186.25.
And in the past, that funds have always gone back in the teen court, or is that how it's always gone, or?
They've gone into teen court for a while, and then I think it was about a year ago when things were slow. I think that you voted to, I'm not sure on this, but I think you voted to put it into the general fund, and so I'm just requesting that it
I think
comes
I remember that too. There wasn't that many there, but now I think you have a good reason to...
You've got a good flow.
Yes, you do.
How are you on your budget right now?
I'll be pretty much using everything by the end of the year, so that money would come in handy. Maxine keeps telling me.
It's not a revolving fund, though.
Right.
So your budget, if you run short, we'll have to use contingency or
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I work really hard to make sure I stay within the constraints of the budget. So I think I will come in just under budget this year. But I'll use most of that money that was budgeted, and this will be very helpful. So right now, when I run a drug and alcohol class, it's a 2-part class. There's usually between 3 and 6 teens that come through that, and their parents are required to come to the second part of that class. It's about a 10-hour class, and I pay out about $1,600 to run that class. So I try to schedule one out like every 2.5 to 3 months, and then kids that come in on the front end go at the very end of their 90 days, or if they're just coming in, they go at the very beginning of their 90 days. Sometimes I have to allow kids a few extra days to complete the class. It'd be nice to be able to squeeze one more class in there,
Is the expense in the materials or in the speakers that you bring in?
It's in the instructor.
Okay.
who is well worth every penny of it, but...
Is she from Neola? Is that Christie?
Yes, Christy Spitzer, yes. She does an amazing job. Every family that comes through and goes to her class comments on how knowledgeable she is, how non-judgmental she is, how she's got great suggestions and tools, and so I would really like to keep her. I'm sure I could find somebody to do it for less, but I think that the results we get from that are really worth the pennies.
And the results are what we're looking for.
Well, I think that was the intended use for the money, so I would make a motion to go ahead and divert it to.
I second it.
Motion by Kippley, second by Hanson, to take the money from for teen court, coming back, make sure it goes back to teen court rather than the general fund. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And great Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay.
Next item on the agenda, we have discuss possible land exchange. What we are doing is looking at a couple options of some land that the county's owned out at the Richmond Lake for a number of years that has not benefited the county at all, and looking for some other options.
I would make a motion to go into exec for contracts.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by Kippley, second by Sutton to go into motion, exec for contracts. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are in exec.
Max, you want me to just have a pen?
We are out of exec. And I would entertain a motion to table the land purchase exchange until next Tuesday due to some information we have to find out about the county property.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Kippley to table the land exchange on the Brown County property until the next commission meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next
week.
item.
Thank you.
We didn't intend to take your time up that way, but it just worked out that way.
I understand. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on our agenda, we have Judy Dosh, Building Superintendent, discuss quotes for paint and carpet for First Street building.
Take it easy, bro.
Morning, Jude.
You don't know how to do with that.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I'll stay in this little corner.
Dirt may cause a problem.
I thought of it last night and then it went poof.
We have some quotes for paint and carpet at our First Street building, on what you had figured
Yes.
on getting done.
Yep. I got 2 quotes for painting, and one is from Carrie and Jolene Palmer. They got Palmer Painting, and that price was $7,175.
$71.75?
Yep. And from Total Drywall for $6,100.
And how much painting is that going to involve, Judy?
That's going to be painting all the offices, and it won't do anything up on the second floor. We'll just do the...
So the lower level will all
offices.
be painted, because you've already painted some yourself.
I painted just to get the IT, and I still have to paint like where the reception area was. And then I want to do the lobby, and then down the road a little bit here I'll do the 2 bathrooms. But everything else is painted, and that's my paint.
Okay. Is that a labor only, or is that the paint?
Nope, we'll get the paint.
We buy the paint.
Yep.
That sounds reasonable considering the size
Oh.
and the walls and the doors and the windows.
Yeah. Yep.
I move we accept the lower bid.
Second.
Moved by Hanson, second by Sutton to accept the lower bid of $6,100
To Total Drywall.
total drywall.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. And I have I got 4 quotes for these. And we won't be doing like the first part, like where the where the reception was and, got that green carpeting, that area. And then 3 offices of, Paul's will not, I've had them shampooed and those are ready to go. So everything else will get the carpet, and it won't include the second floor.
Okay.
All right. So,
What type of, you're putting in what type of carpet?
it's kind of like this carpet.
Okay.
Yep.
1970 shag.
That sounds good.
Orange, I suppose, too.
Orange. Orange and green.
A lot of the installers that came to, they come to look to, because they have to come and
Yeah.
measure and all that kind of stuff. They said, well, what kind of carpet? And I had a sample there, and they said, oh, that's good carpet. So, okay. All right.
Well, you want something that lasts more than a year.
Oh, right. Yes. And it's a shawl carpet. From Melch House, it'd be, and this is for the carpet and to install it and tear out and everything. It was $16,745.
Okay.
Should paint the floor. Sounds like a better deal if you paint the floor.
Paint the floor.
Chip seal a mile for that dirt.
Yeah, no kidding.
Floor max was $15,584.81.
That's floor max.
That's floor max. Finishing touch is $14,276.52. And floor to ceiling is $14,939.20.
Well, they're close.
And then does that not, we leave hard floor on the dispatch floor? Or is that carpeting in
That's
that
all
too?
carpeting.
It is?
Yes.
Because I know for a
That's
while
what-
we had talked about not
Yep.
doing that.
They decided to go to all carpet.
Just for the
The
noise
quiet, yep.
absorption.
Yep.
And these are all the same basic type carpet, all,
It's all the same carpet, yep, it all includes the tear out and the prep work and what I'm hoping to do is, of course, it's gonna take a while to get the carpet in, so I'm hoping, like, the middle of December, I could have the carpet guys come in and tear out all the carpet, and then I could get, the painters in to start painting, and then, we've got all the holidays in there, all the Christmases and everything. And then, they'll all finish up, and then I can get the carpet in, so it'll all be finished up like the first part of January. So,
That sounds like a deal.
I think when we talked about this, the different departments that said they had money that they would take from other spots, is this included in that? Have you talked to them?
yeah, they're gonna have to help undo some of the, 'cause I don't have, that much money in the budget. So, they're gonna help pay for what, they can help pay for it too.
I see a fundraiser coming up.
Yeah.
We're gonna put a red kettle over there.
But for the carpet and paint, I have that in next year's budget, so, yeah.
We're gonna help. We talked to Judy yesterday, the generator needs some
Yep, we're gonna talk about
funds,
that.
the gas meter needs some funds where we think we can help kick in some of that.
Yeah.
Um,
So I got a quote, well, finally Jacob got to me from Northwestern Energy, because he had thought there wasn't going to be a cost. Well, there's going to be a cost. And the quote, because it's to meter fit the generator addition and stuff, and that's going to be $634.31. But what I need is, I just need your signature so that I can get the job going, get the meter changed out. So.
Do we need a motion for that tonight?
Okay.
Need a motion on the carpets?
Oh, sorry about that, we skipped from the...
I make a motion we accept the finishing touch low bid for the carpets.
I'll second it.
motion by Sutton, second by Hanson to accept a low bid from Finishing Touch on carpeting over in the First Street building of $14,276.
And
All-
52 cents.
52 cents. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
It's up to you if you want a motion on the Northwestern Energy to
$600.
So you just get it done.
We have been, just a little update, we have been tearing out some doors. We saw the building permit that we got from the city to tear out some doors that no longer were in the wrong spot. So Kent and I and stuff have been over there, and Judy, days here and there, just doing some framing and some drywalling and dismantling type stuff, those types of things, and moving tables from different rooms and taking down old whiteboards and stuff like that, so.
Very good.
Tinkering here and there as we, like I said, as we get a few
Trying to save some money.
extra hours just to try to save a little bit of money versus
Appreciate that.
coming in, so.
Is Kent gonna try to move dispatch over the holidays, or is he,
Oh,
I
no,
imagine
it
he'll have
won't
to do
be.
like 2 desks?
It'll be a
And then
while.
hook them up and then...
Actually, yeah, it's probably, Paul is gonna try to get over there first and his group, just because there needs to be a little bit of, computer cabling done and then stuff like that, that if they're over there, you know, when they got time, they can go run a cable here or there. And then, we don't wanna move a whole lot in until Judy gets the carpet done and create problems for that.
Sure.
So the rest of the other offices probably won't go over till after the first of the year when Judy gets the carpet.
Yeah, we're hoping to get Paul in a couple weeks.
Stuff all done,
Very good.
and then we can, the idea is to get a station set up of Kent's over there first and working, and then move 2 stations and then move 2 more stations. So, but we want to get one completely set up and tested before we start unplugging stuff over here. So,
Good plan.
Thank you, Jude.
Yeah.
Thank you, Judy.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
thank you.
Thank
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving to you and your folks.
Next item on the agenda, we have Dirk Rogers with a right-of-way for Helms and Associates.
One right away, that's it? No more.
It's up to you guys.
Yeah.
The right-of-way is on Dakota Street. It's right, you know, it's on our south, or Brown County 4, which starts north of the fairgrounds. And there's 2 developments going in there. They're going south of the levee, that's B&B's. They're just doing an extension of what they had going on there. And then the other one's right immediately north of the levee, in between there and the Neitzel property, and that's a Happy Homes development. Now, I did put a little condition on there because I wanted, that's one of the spots where we've got city infrastructure underneath the county road. And occasionally, these things like this come up, and it's a little bit of a pain. You know, if we really wanted to dig in today, we can reject this and somehow get them to take the road over. I think we'll end up there someday with that particular stretch. But what they'll need to do eventually is actually cut into the asphalt to access the water line, and I said you can't do that this fall unless you can tell me how you're going to repair the asphalt, because I didn't really want a gravel pothole there the rest of the winter. So they said they won't do that this winter yet. They'll make the connection in the spring. Now, when that plat goes through, which is probably working its way through the city, the approaches are too close together, so I won't approve the plat whenever it comes to me, because until they, you know, adjust something. And sometimes the city, you know, does what they want anyway, just like our planning and zoning board does what they want sometimes that I don't agree with. But whenever that comes to me, I will be rejecting it based on the approaches being too close. So, by saying something about it, I'm trying to separate the 2 things. This is specific to the utilities, and they're free to occupy the right-of-way along Dakota Street, put in the sewer and the water. But by no way am I saying that the way the plat is okay, because the approaches are going to be too close together in the version I've seen. I haven't seen the final copy. I just had preliminary discussions with them. So, outside all that rambling, I would recommend that we approve that right-of-way occupancy. I'll move it.
So you,
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Hanson, to approve the right-of-way occupancy for Helms and Associates.
You just hang out at the commission chambers, or you here?
Remind me, Dirk, on the north half of that mile, the city has annexed both sides of the road on the south half, right?
I don't think the west side's annexed, is it?
Well, Lonnie Anderson's is not?
I don't think the west side's annexed.
I thought it was. Okay. Then I
My-
don't have a question. If it's not.
My understanding is that up to the right-of-way on the east side of the road would be annexed up to the levee. So it's just 1/4 of the mile, and depending on how you look at that. And the way the city claims, this is one of those things that doesn't happen frequently enough that you get a real good, solid, consistent policy on how you transfer that, you know. We blackmailed them into taking a mile one time, and
He says
so-
that on camera.
well, we did. I mean, I got it all documented in my office if anyone wants to look at it, but, it was by posting, we posted, Melgard Road and made them take it over when 6th Street was being rebuilt. But anyway, normally they'll say once 60% of the right-of-way is annexed along the road, then the city will take it, or not even the right-of-way, the property. And then that's the other rub. You have to be careful that when they annex that, they annex the right-of-way too, because the city can annex the property and have the city limit come down the right-of-way line and back up the other side and not take the road. So, but if that happens to us, we're gonna go mill up whatever road it is first and then close it, so.
I think that's the rumor is that South Dakota is going to be milled.
Yeah. Hey, but I'm just saying that, you know, we have to use what leverage we
We gotta
have.
do what we gotta do.
That's right, so, but,
Okay, thank you.
anyway, all right, have a lovely day and a good
Hey,
holiday.
I got a question.
Okay?
Okay, so I don't usually travel 14, but someone told me that the stop signs are in the middle of the road, and who designed that road? They asked if we did, the state did, or who?
Clark Engineering did.
Okay, so the question was, this person had trouble figuring out how to turn, and that happens with new things.
Sure.
What happens if a truck takes it out when they're doing the turning?
Then we'll go in and put it back up. I would assume we will be putting those in at least,
Quite often.
I'd say once a week probably, we'll be putting one of them in based on my experience with truck drivers pulling pups.
Yep.
Um,
And then with the icy roads too, that's another one, you're gonna be wiping some out.
yes.
Yep.
But if we want to have the turn lane there,
That's all we gotta do.
unless we're gonna make it a full, acceleration lane with the yield, where you're gonna merge back in, and which would actually be a lot bigger deal,
Yeah.
then you have to have it that way, because the eastbound traffic, like at Prairie Woods, the eastbound traffic is too far. The stop sign out here is too far
Yeah.
from where they're parked. So you just can't do it.
I was just asking
No, I'm
because their
not-
question was who designed it.
Right.
Now I can tell.
But I'm all for roundabouts. We could have put roundabouts
Oh, I
in
love
all of our
roundabouts.
spots, and that would have been awesome, so.
The truckers seem to like them.
Right, right. You guys have a
You
great
can
day.
go now,
Yep.
yeah.
Maybe you'll get a roundabout eventually.
Maybe.
Yeah.
See how well assistance works out. Yeah.
Okay, we had the motion and a second. All in favor of the right-of-way occupancy for Helms and Associate?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That's all that's listed on our agenda items. Max, did you have anything else?
No.
Gary, do you have anything else?
No, I do not.
Anything else? Do we want to go into exec for payroll contract, or?
You can.
Probably should. Move it.
Can we take a 2-minute break
Yeah.
first? Okay.
2 seconds.
2 seconds? Oh, seconds.
Moved by Kipling, second by Hassel, to go into exec for contract. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna use the garbage can.
Aye.
We are in a
Aye.
We are out of exec, and I would entertain a motion for, HR regarding the contract with RAM.
I would make a motion that for the remainder of this calendar year that we have Gary Vedder's duties shifted 100% to working through our payroll issues and full-time HR payroll position. And so we'll shift your duties, Gary, from commission assistant, helping with planning and zoning, drainage, any other areas that you've been assisting in, and focus strictly on getting the problems that we've had with our contract with RAM worked out. Work with Patty and work with whoever's been doing the training for the remainder of the year. That gives us approximately 6 weeks to That's not all my motion. My motion is just relieve Gary of his commission duties for the rest of this year and focus 100% on payroll.
Okay.
And
And
all
those issues.
communication go directly to him and that.
Well, we can have a motion, you can second, then we can have discussion before we take the vote.
Okay, I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Sutton to relieve Gary of the communication assistant and make him full charge of HR. And Nancy has a second. Any other questions before we take a vote or any concerns? I think one of the things that was also talked about is that all correspondence will go through Gary regarding payroll at this time.
Between RAM and the county. We've got to have one person as a contact person. So if a department has a question of RAM, get it to Gary. Gary will get the answer and get the information. Same way with Vicki. She has a question, needs information, then Gary
He's the
needs to
center
get
point.
it. He's the contact person on both ends.
Then we know we gave it 100% on this deal.
Yep.
If we have to scrap it at the end of the year contract, we have to scrap it, but let's make sure that we're doing what we can to make it successful, because I think it's got a lot of potential to save us money and efficiencies. It's just we're not getting her figured out yet.
So who's going to do this now?
Do this.
Comparing, without the interface, we have to compare Sundial, RAM, and Encode, and get everything tied to Encode, because that's what your major one is. So who's going to be doing these things?
Well, it looks like we've gotten closer and closer to getting,
Do you realize how many hours it took me to do that? I worked Veterans Day, the Saturday and Sunday before Veterans Day. I finally took an evening off last Friday and last night. I worked all Saturday and all Sunday this past weekend. It's gotta stop. Who's going to do this?
Can we take the vote on our motion, and we'll go back and discuss openly and what
Okay.
you're talking about? So we have a motion by Sutton to have our commission assistant move over to HR. We have a second by Hanson. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. One of the things that we're trying to get done, Max, is the AFLAC, we're trying to run the reports, what we're finding is maybe some of the Sundial information didn't get over to RAM or was entered wrong. We're having reports run, and we're going to compare those reports so that if you were single and claiming one, it's got to be the same at RAM.
That's not AFLAC, that's withholding.
All the reports I'm in, just not that one. We're going to take the Wellmark, AFLAC, everything, and compare them to Encode and get them the same. So if they're the same, should it not balance?
It should.
Okay.
But who's going to interface it into the accounting?
I think we need to ask Paul how that happens, because I can't answer that because I don't know.
They'll have to
But
be
the
addressed.
information has got to be able to be transferred, so maybe we get Paul up here and say, what do we need to do? What does RAM need to do? What's the step to make that
Without
happen?
RAM talking to Encode, you still have to enter the same data from Sundial into the payroll portion of Encode in order to get it into the accounting. So why are you doing the work twice? See, you kind of did this backwards. You should have concentrated on your interface between RAM and the accounting in Encode prior to going live. Once you got your interface from RAM to Encode tested and fine-tuned, then you could go live. But you
That's why
didn't-
we need to get Paul up here, because we can sit and talk about it all day, but we need to ask Paul what needs to happen to
That's
make
right.
that happen.
That's why we want one center point, so
Yep.
everything goes, so
We can have them come to next week's agenda and discuss that.
I'll be gone next week. Payroll has not been started for November unless Patty started it today. Nothing is entered into Encode for the first payroll of November. And the second payroll is being compiled in Sundial to send to RAM tomorrow morning for this week's payroll. Without the interface, there's no way to get that information into the accounting portion of Encode
without it being entered into in-code portion for payroll.
Sounds like you better have a working meeting, maybe even this
Yep.
afternoon. Grab
Paul
Patty,
can answer
Paul,
that.
Max, see where we're at.
Anything else to come before the commission? Hearing none, nothing, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Hess to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.